I'm hearing you, the holding space, right? Because the holding space aspect of it, one, to oneself first. How do you hold space for you and for your changes, right? And detach pretty much from the idea of who you were to give space to who you are becoming. And that, when we put it in the context of what you're sharing, it's also like, how are you holding space for another person that's going through their own self-discovery journey? And sometimes, because in the way in which relationships work, we sometimes get attached to the role the other person plays. And when, when we go through self-discovery processes, we change, roles change, all of it change. So really, how can we rediscover the other person while they undertake the self-discovery?
So I think it's super important to be mindful of habits. And if we don't express ourselves consistently, or we don't have open conversations, honest conversations with our partners from the beginning. I mean, not to say that you can't start in the middle of like a marriage, but it's more challenging, because you're accustomed to a way, you already have stories about each other. It's kind of hard. It's not like it's hard to like create that. So I'm very conscious, since I am divorced, to go into my present relationship very open, very communicative, very like open space. I want to talk about creating space really quickly, because you just made me think of something. Creating space has nothing to do with actual space, as it doesn't have anything to do with time either. It's not a real thing. It's a concept.
It feels in the body.
You can create space and time without space and time, So it's different from self-care, because you actually physically need time to go do that, and you need to create an actual space where you can go do that. But like within you, you can create space for you to have your own thoughts, own feelings, non-critical, I always say, to your partner and to yourself, and then create that for your partner. Invite them. Don't force them, ask them, say, hey, are you interested in? How much better does it feel if your partner came and sat with you and said, hey, are you interested in having a conversation about this? Instead of like, hey, we need to talk. I mean, who wants to talk with someone? We need to talk. Like,
I'm taking notes.
Write it down, girl.
I'm taking notes.
So, back to self-discovery, because we love to loop around. And
we're going to definitely loop around a lot also. That's going to happen.
So, but it's so important, self-discovery, so that when you're in a relationship, you are more comfortable with yourself, more aware of what you need, more aware of what you want.
I also think we're like all the time in relationship.
We are.
Like, we can identify it or name it in whichever way we want to name it, but we're in relationship with the person at the supermarket, if I'm a professor, with my student. You're in relationship with everything that's around you in life.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that you're in a space relating with another human being.
Yeah.
Relating
with get coffee.
Yes, you are in a state of relationship.
Yeah.
And in the state of relationship is we grow. Then we can call it a friendship. Then we can call it like a romantic partnership, or like a work professional colleague relationship. But the fact is that really we are in relationship. Our nervous systems are continuously co-regulating with each other, with the people we spend time with. So even though we say like, I don't want a relationship, like, you are relating.
Yeah,
Your biology is having
when you say I don't want a relationship, you're actually having a bad relationship with the concept of relationships.
Yeah. Just the fact that we are, yes.
Because you're trying to protect yourself.
Yes. And it makes sense, right? The protecting yourself, because it's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to kind of come out of your shell. And I'm telling that because I went through a period of time where I'm like, I'm hyper independent. I'm like not connecting with anyone. I don't want a relationship. And I was like, hey, you're like in relationship with the world.
Maybe you wanted to have a relationship with you.
Also that, very important. Because,
which is part of your self-discovery.
Yes, the part of the self-discovery journey, I feel it's granting you the space to really reassess who you are. And sometimes you need to isolate a little bit. A little bit, because when we are in certain contexts, we are used to being in a way, and we're identified by the others by being in a certain way. So how can we change, or how can we really discover who we are when the environment is mirroring us like an image back, which is consistent to who we were, not who we are becoming.
Yeah, it's taking time to do inventory. It's checking in with your checking in is
Checking
super
in.
important. Checking in with yourself. How do I feel? What do I want? Am I portraying myself in the way that I feel is aligned with where I am in my life?
Also, how do you connect with your feelings? For me, the first part of my self-discovery journey was like, wait, I really am so out of touch with what my body is telling me. I was so dissociated from my body. So exercising, yoga, dance classes. I
Connection.
went to contemporary dance classes to really reconnect with my body and say like, hey, this is my home, and making my body my home. Then I started understanding my instinct talking to me, my feelings like going and moving through my body. Because prior to that, at the beginning of my self discovery, I was like numb. I'm like, what's happening? I don't know what's happening.
Well, you went through a lot before you went on this
Yes.
journey,
Yeah.
so you were also like healing and stuff, right? I think
For
that's
me, it
part
was a
of
choice,
Yeah.
but also I was like pushed in a way because I left the
how it
choice
feels
up until
usually.
the end. I was like, I'm not choosing this, not choosing this, not choosing this. And then there was a point where it was like, girl, like, you need to make a choice.
Yeah.
Like right
And
now.
sometimes the universe will push you to that, like if
Yes.
you're resisting.
There's no other way. I think at some
Yeah.
point you're really gonna have to embark on that journey, whether it's you really acknowledging and very consciously saying, I need to just take this step, or it's like this, like shake.
So I feel like self-discovery or the journey of self-discovery has a lot of highs and it has a lot of lows and it has a lot of middle ground, and it's not always comfortable. It's most of the time it's not really
so
comfortable.
fucking uncomfortable.
Most of the time it's
Can
not
we
actually
say that?
comfortable. Yes, you can say that. If that's how you feel, absolutely. I look at it like I always like look back and go, wow.
It makes sense when you look back.
Those crazy little things that made no sense, they actually saved me. They
Yes.
actually made me amazing, you know? So I like to like suck the goodness out of the experience, focus on that energy,
Definitely.
than the what the hell is going on? This is terrible,
Even
etc.
through the what the hell is going
Yeah.
on, it's just like I never felt such a sublime sense of beauty as when I was going through my self-discovery journey. Because meeting your raw self, meeting you in that rawness is like
Very special.
It's very special.
Yeah.
There's such a presence, there's a beauty, and it's a beauty that goes beyond what we have right now in society. It's like beautiful. It's a
That's
beauty
such a-
that's
Small little thing to
Yes.
fill. I feel like I've been
It's-
thinking about humans a lot, like just all of us. And we're all beautiful. We really are. We're all beautiful. We all have so much to offer, regardless of how we were raised, what people told us about ourselves. Like everyone is stripped back is really beautiful.
we're perfect designs.
Literally, we
And it's
really
very-
are. And we're just all so different.
Yeah.
So there's so much beauty in that as well, you know? And I invite you to take your journey, if you haven't, of self-discovery, to really know and tap into who you are unapologetically. And I think it's the most beautiful explore. It's the most beautiful experience. It's the biggest gift you can give yourself to, because like we're born, we grow in an environment with different, social constructs, and then we die, like reality,
Just like softly.
At the
like,
end,
there you have it. At
I
the
mean,
end.
that's the only thing that's
end.
promised, So do you want to live fitting a mold? Do you want to live making other people happy, or do you want to live with like your truth, with who you are, with how you like resonate, when you're truly yourself? Like it's very powerful.
Holding the sacredness of your soul. Holding the sacredness of who you
Being
are.
grateful for who you actually are. And sometimes we don't know who that is. So we have to go on this journey.
Also, I feel it's not like a wrap-up thing. It's not like, hey, I finished the journey. Now I know who I am.
No,
there's,
there's like another
something
journey,
gonna...
and there's
yes,
another journey,
it's,
and there's
it's
another
a
journey.
constant.
There's
So
millions of journeys.
the more muscle I think you build
Yeah,
by walking
totally,
this,
yeah.
it's also kind of the more tools you have and skill sets you have for whenever that self-discovery kind of
Absolutely.
moment comes in and kicks in. You're like, okay, now I have more tools. I know I can go through it.
Absolutely.
I know I can undertake this transition from one identity to the other in a smooth way, in a joyful way, in a fun way. And also like rituals. What are the rituals we're creating in this self-discovery process? And I think of my birthday when I say this,
I love your birthday.
which was this like rebirth party. I was like very much feeling I was transitioning from one identity formation into the other one. And I created this ritual with a friend called, Rebirth, that I pretty much was circled by my friends. You were there. And, well, you were in the first part.
Yes.
And then I was, just lying down.
Lightly buried, but
Lightly
not really.
buried in flowers.
Yeah.
Well, all women were putting flowers on my body and sharing things they appreciate about me and
So
things that
powerful.
I am, and like so much love. And then pretty much I had to kind of come out of that womb, or that like cocoon, into my new being. So really the fact of creating,
It was powerful.
it was
I want to
so
talk about it in another
powerful.
podcast,
We
because
definitely.
I think it's a really cool thing to try on to do, because I remember you like ran into the ocean.
Yeah.
You literally had like a really big
rebirth.
aha moment where you were like,
We
like
can
you were
share, because
reborn.
after self-discovery, there's many rebirths. So maybe that's going to be at some point
Yeah.
the name of one of our episodes as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. So self-discovery, undertaking the path of getting to know who you are,
Do
while
it.
also pretty much negotiating new ways in which you want to relate with others, and how do you establish those parameters of communication as well.
And I feel like you're there, you're not alone. Like, especially today, like we met each other and we clicked for many reasons. But I think one of the reasons is because you were on a certain path, and so was I, as I think we will continue to be throughout our lives. And we saw that, we recognized that in each other, respected that in each other, and thought like, hey, do you want to like,
Yes.
co-journey,
You wanna
like
share
you
a
want to
little
like
bit?
talk about
Yes.
it, and you want to be like, I'll call you or ask you when I need something and you need something, and we'll support each other through the journey. I love people that are on the journey. They're really supportive of one another, you know?
You create a community around it. You create a community of
Resources,
like friends,
people, yeah, beautiful.
mentors. Definitely. I think the community aspect is very important, because it's very easy to self-isolate sometimes during this process. And I would say, great.
There's a lot of support
if
out
it's
there.
a first part of your process,
Sure.
it might be a little bit you get into your cocoon, but at some point or the other, really coming out of your comfort zone is not just like withdrawing, it's really going and reaching out and asking for help and asking for advice,
Yeah.
and saying, hey, I'm struggling. Like, this is going, like, driving me crazy, or I'm having fun with this. And just like being seen by the other in what you're going through is life affirming in a way.
Right. And not to plug yoga, like in the
Yeah.
podcast, even though I love yoga, not to plug yoga, but if you are on a journey or you want to start a journey of self-discovery, I think that is a good place to go, because they are very much of that self-discovery mentality in a yoga studio. So that could be a temple of sorts where you can go and meet people that are also on that journey. If you're not, if you don't have people in your life that are on that journey, I think that would be a great tool, or that's a great place to go to ask questions, have conversations.
I love that you're mentioning this, because it means also that self-discovery is not only this like, who am I, in a very like metaphorical or theory way, but it's actually like an embodied experience.
Yeah.
And what yoga grants you is like, you pretty much, you explore in your body.
Yes,
you
you
move
have a
your
lot
body.
of aha moments, a
So-
lot of epiphanies, a lot of realizations.
Self-discovery, it's not only starting in your head.
Right.
It's not only starting
through
in
movement.
It's very
It's
much
through your breath.
integrating breath, movement, body, mind,
Yeah.
spirit. And you said something very beautiful, which is like, once you see the other, right? You see the other and you witness the other in all its beautiful design. You pretty much also like learn how to love everyone. It's so easy to love everyone.
It's a very inclusive
Yeah.
feeling.
Once you go through your own self-discovery, you also see others going through theirs, and it's like, oh my God, there's so much love here. There's so much love.
Also, when you're going through self-discovery and you're aware of so many things that you carry, that your family carries, that your friends carry, when you start meeting people, you can see things, and
Compassionate.
you're more compassionate, empathetic. You don't take things personally. You don't. It's not about you. It's not always about you. People struggling. I think we live in a beautiful time where there are so many resources out there, so many tools out there, so many communities that are supportive of self-awareness, self-care, like the consciousness of, one world, one planet. that I think there's a lot it's a lot easier to enter. Like I can't imagine someone in the 60s or the 70s being like, I'm actually 60s, 70s.
60s,
I can.
70s was
Very
actually
different.
the time
But like
of
in the 40s, 50s, like
Yeah.
I need, time to self-discover. Like that wasn't an
yeah,
option.
it's like, what is that?
Today that's an option, just like there's gluten-free bread, there's options out there, there's people out there, and there's communities that can support you, and also a lot of films and stuff like that, like
Bunch of books that we also at some point can
amazing
make
books. We will
a list
have
of
a list
books.
of books as
Yes.
well. Absolutely.
So, what we say at this point is stand still in the edge of your being, ready to jump outside of your comfort zone and discover all the versions of yourself that you have the potential of becoming, and just go for them.
Absolutely.
Go for them.
Absolutely. Good luck. And if you have any questions about self-discovery or different, you need resources or help, you can write us.
Reach out.
Reach
Definitely.
out. We're very open to supporting you on your journey as we do each other.
Courageously, lovingly, vulnerably, and like fun. We need to
We can make
create
it
this
fun.
a
We
fun
can make
space.
it fun. It doesn't always have to
Definitely.
be challenging.
No, it can
Agreed.
be fun. It can be exploratory, experimental, creative AF.
That's why her
Creative.
hands are green.
Yeah, by the way.
Because she's creative.
I'm creative.
AF.
Yes.
She was on a journey.
I'm on a journey.
Thank you so much.
We love having the space and the opportunity
Yeah.
to share with you. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day, and thank you for watching our podcast.